ridiculous.
Tonight, a scallop diver killed by a shark off Tasmania's east coast. Asylum seeker policy takes centre stage at the Labor conference. And a Hobart jeweller named Business of the Year. Good evening, I'm Georgia Love. A daughter has witnessed her father being attacked and killed by a shark near Maria Island off Tasmania's east coast. The pair from Kingston in the state's south was scallop diving this morning when tragedy struck. It's the first shark attack in the state in 22 years, prompting a warning for boats and divers to stay out of the water. Elizabeth Neal reports.
The tragic aftermath of a fatal shark attack off Tasmania's east coast. Police recovering the body of a recreational diver and stretchering it into a waiting car as forensics examine a vessel believed to have brought him into shore. It's since become known another diver had a close call with a white pointer in the same area yesterday. Thankfully, that diver was unharmed, but locals say this tragedy could have been prevented if authorities had been alerted.
Local police officer wasn't aware of any warning that went out yesterday.
But for a grieving family, police say support is on hand.
We've got professional critical incident people attending their residents as we speak to provide all the support we can. She's deeply traumatised. The wife of the deceased male is deeply traumatised as well.
Elizabeth Neal, Win News.
There was also drama on the Gold Coast today with a shark sighting sending surfers fleeing. It came as world champion Mick Fanning returned to the water 6 days after his terrifying encounter.
From the safety of the shore, a sign of danger at sea.
When we come back, Buckingham Palace throws open its doors and we're popping in. And the high-tech project hoping to uncover some of Hobart's history. You're watching Win News. A group of volunteers is carrying out a geophysical survey of an historic Hobart site in a bid to uncover what lies beneath the former burial ground. The area on St John's Avenue north of Hobart was a cemetery for more than 100 years from 1836, and it's believed an Australian cricketer, politicians and clergymen were among those laid to rest there. The Friends of the Orphans School and St John's Park Precinct are coordinating the project and hope the findings will shed further light on the significance of the area. Well, taking a look at today's weather now, and it was a mostly wet day across the state with cloudy conditions in the east. There was rain on both the islands. Flinders and King both had a top of 13 degrees. Showers for Burnie and 12. Devonport overcast today, also 12 degrees. Launceston was a mostly fine 13. Mostly fine also in the east, St Helens 13, Swansea 14. It was wet over in the west, Strawn got to a top of 12, and there are a few light showers today in Hobart at 13 degrees. And I'll have a full weather report for you later in the bulletin. When we come back though, the Collingwood Star helping hospital patients on their road to recovery. And Australian scientists discover a way to block nasty side effects of stroke medication. Welcome back. It's the life-saving medicine for stroke victims dubbed a Jekyll and Hyde drug. Now Australian scientists have found a way to boost its benefits and block the harmful side effects.
Ross Waldron doesn't look like a stroke victim, but 7 years ago it nearly claimed his life.
Well, sports up next with Tom Hawkins starring in the Cats win over GWS. And Lauderdale claims victory over rivals Clarence in the TSL. Richmond's top 4 credentials are again being tested tonight against Fremantle at the MCG. The Tigers are a real chance of toppling the ladder leaders for the second time this season, up by 11 points early in the final quarter.
200 games for Troy Chaplin, but for Tiger fans it seems tears are never far away. Cochin and Fife went head-to-head early on as Chris Newman marked and booted the first of the game.
Kick is on its way, he's got his 50th career goal.
On half-time, injury forced Hampson to be subbed, leaving Marich one out in the ruck. The match only getting tighter.
Fife looks up and kicks the
Gary Ablett's horror season could be over after suffering a knee injury against Adelaide. Gold Coast hung in there for 3 quarters before falling to a 45-point defeat. But the result was almost secondary as Ablett hobbled from the field after a teammate fell across his leg. While the Suns hope it's not too serious, Rodney Eade concedes he mightn't be back in 2015.
Aggressive sort of extension.
Looks like a meniscus, so it looks like I would think that probably even 3 or 4 weeks, probably a year, so it's a bit unfortunate.
Restricted to just 6 games this season because of that shoulder issue, Ablett will have scans on Monday. In the TSL, Lauderdale has come up trumps in its match against rivals Clarence this afternoon at Blunston Arena. But it wasn't without a fight, with both sides playing a pressure-filled 4 quarters. Meanwhile, top place Glenorchy have made light work of Kingborough, taking the Tigers down by 75 points.
Ladder leaders Glenorchy were looking for an easy win, and they got down to business, booting 5 goals early. By half-time, Tigers struggled to keep up with the Magpies, only kicking 7 goals for the entire match. Glenorchy proving too strong, making light work for their opponents, winning by 75 points. Daniel Muir, the best of the goal kickers, booting 5 goals for the match.
And that's it for sport tonight. Stay with us, I'll have the weather details next and severe conditions forecast across the state tomorrow. Well, it was a bit of a wet day across the state today with some cloudy conditions in the east. There was rain on the islands, Flinders and King both 13, showers for Burnie 12, Devonport overcast and also 12, Launceston was mostly fine and 13. Mostly fine too down the east, St Helens 13, Swansea 14, wet in Strawn, a top of 12 over there and a few light showers today in Hobart and 13 degrees. To boating, very large swells up to 9.5 metres in the west, up to 7.5 metres in the south. There's a gale warning for all Tasmanian coastal waters, including southeast inshore waters, a small craft wind alert for southwest and central plateau lakes. There's also a severe weather warning for damaging winds throughout Tasmania, a warning to sheep graziers and a bushwalkers weather alert for western and central Tasmania. Tomorrow, storms for the islands, a top of 10 for King, 11 for Flinders. Storms for the north of the state, Burnie, Devonport and Launceston all reaching 10 degrees. Rain and wind in the east, St Helens will get to 12, Swansea 13. Storms for the west, a top of just 8 for Strawn, and Hobart, showers and wind reaching 11 degrees. And looking ahead back home in the northwest, showers on Monday and Wednesday, top temperatures 12 and 13. Much the same in Launceston, cold overnight Monday, then up to 13. And showers in Hobart on Monday and Tuesday, tops of 11 and 14. And just before we go tonight, nothing was getting in the way of this mother duck and her ducklings crossing the road, not even 4 lanes of fast-moving traffic. The harrowing journey across a busy US motorway was caught on camera, but amazingly, all managed to make it safely to the other side. And on that note, that's Win News for this Saturday. I'm Georgia Love. Enjoy your evening. I'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.